The hour has come for the College of New Jersey commencement ceremony to begin. As the College of New Jersey Wind Ensemble fills Lion Stadium with music celebrating our graduates, including the familiar strains of Pomp and Circumstance, I ask that you combine the joy and fulfillment of the occasion with your attention, respect, and the dignity befitting commencement here at the college.
Good afternoon and welcome. I am Nicolette Simo, student representative on the Board of Trustees here at the College of New Jersey. I hereby call to order the 2021 commencement ceremony for the School of Science. It is an honor and a pleasure to welcome you and all of those watching via our live stream to the exercises which celebrate our newest graduates as they join the ranks of our distinguished alumni. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I offer the graduates a heartfelt congratulations on their exceptional achievements and their extraordinary promise. At this time, I present to you Dr. Catherine Foster, the 16th President of the College of New Jersey.
Thank you, Trustee Simone. It is an honor to add my welcome to this joyous occasion, the 2021 commencement exercises for the College of New Jersey. Let me begin by introducing honored participants who will not otherwise be introduced during the ceremony. I ask each group to stand upon introduction and remain standing until we have recognized the group. First, it is my great pleasure to recognize members of the College of New Jersey Board of Trustees, the President's Cabinet, and members of 3 important advisory boards of the college, the TCNJ Foundation, the TCNJ Alumni Association, and the Trenton State College Corporation. Thank you for being exceptional partners to this college and for your attendance today. Please join me in applauding their contributions to the college. Please be seated. I now ask members of the TCNJ School of Science faculty to please rise if able. Graduation cannot happen without these indispensable members of our community. As dedicated, talented, creative, and award-winning teachers, advisors, mentors, and scholars, you have given immensely to prepare our graduates for this day, to ready them for their next chapter, and to generate their fond memories of TCNJ. Please, students especially, join me in extending our deepest thanks and appreciation to your faculty. Please be seated. With the members of our talented and dedicated TCNJ staff, many of whom are at this moment working the event, please rise if you are able. You have nurtured our graduates from before they enrolled as students and throughout their time on campus. Your care is further reflected today. Plants and chairs neatly placed, audio loud and clear, live streaming underway, programs published, diplomas readied, no detail left untended. Graduates and guests, please join me in extending our fondest thanks and gratitude to our dedicated TCNJ staff. Please be seated. Commencement is a proud moment in the life of a college and a very proud milestone in the lives of our degree candidates. Class of 2021, this celebration in your honor and the degree you will receive signal a significant and meaningful milestone. From this day forward, no matter where life takes you, you will be a graduate of the College of New Jersey, one of the nation's finest institutions of higher education. Class of 2021, whatever your next chapter, in graduate school, place of employment, or civic service, bring to it your strongest and surest lion's roar. The world needs that, and it needs you now more than ever. On behalf of a proud and grateful college, congratulations and go get 'em, class of 2021. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce your Dean, Dr. Amanda Norvell, Interim Dean of the School of Science, to address the class.
Thank you, President Foster. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Science, good afternoon and welcome to our 2021 School of Science graduates. We are so very glad to see you here. Welcome also to our guests, the parents, step-parents, grandparents, siblings, partners, friends, and loved ones who helped you reach this milestone. Whether you're here with us in Lions Stadium or attending virtually, thank you for joining us to celebrate the considerable accomplishments of these young men and women. Your support and encouragement have been instrumental in their successes. Graduates, what can I say? I wish I had some words of wisdom that you could carry with you as you embark on the next phase of your lives. But honestly, I can't imagine that I could offer any remarks that could be more impactful than your individual experiences from this last year. I hope that this time has given you the chance to pause and look within yourselves to discover your own talents and to define your priorities. Your ability to persevere and reach this milestone, college graduation, is truly remarkable. I and the entire School of Science faculty and staff wish you all the best and hope that you remember your time here and the people who have come into your lives through the college as the foundation for a full and meaningful life. In a few moments, we will recognize each graduate individually. You're all wearing your academic regalia, and many of you are adorned with a variety of cords, sashes, and other decorations. Given the number of graduates, we are not able to recognize their individual accomplishments one by one, but we can celebrate them collectively. So graduates, at this time, I ask for your participation. So, if you participated in research here at TCNJ or off campus, please rise if you are able and/or raise both of your hands over your head and wave. So if you did research, please stand and wave. You may be seated. If you did an internship, please stand if you are able and/or wave once again. There we go. You may be seated. If you presented your scholarly work here at the Celebration of Student Achievement or at an academic conference, please stand. You may be seated. If you were part of the honors program, please rise if you are able. You may be seated. If you if you were a Bonner Scholar. Yay. If you earned departmental or college-wide, a departmental or college-wide award, please stand if you're able. You may be seated. If you earned departmental honors or wrote a thesis, please rise. All right. We'll clap for those two. If you were active in a student organization, club, or student government, please rise. If you served in a leadership role in any of these activities, please remain standing. And if you have, you may be seated, I'm sorry. If you've been admitted to or to medical, dental, or other health professional school, please rise. You may be seated. Graduate school, please rise. You may be seated. And if you've accepted a job for next year, please rise. You may be seated. And finally, if you are a teacher, one of our teachers, please rise. Thank you. You may be seated. I hope that list and the number of our students who have engaged in these substantial activities and earned recognition for their accomplishments gives you a flavor of the talent and dedication of our graduates. Congratulations to all of you. We are very, very proud. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. David Hunt, Professor of Chemistry, who was selected by the senior class to bring greetings to our graduates on behalf of the faculty.
First of all, let me take this in for a minute. I haven't seen students in 3 dimensions for the better part of a year now. So it's nice to see you here in 3 dimensions. It's indeed a real honor to have been invited by the School of Science students to give the faculty commencement speech this year. Kind of ordinary, don't you think, this year? When I agreed to speak here, one of the first things I thought of as I tried to decide what to say was my own college graduation some 47 years ago. However, since that was so long ago, nothing came to mind. So much for that idea. So that's the bar I'm setting for myself. I hope that what I say today will be more memorable than nothing at all. During my 16 years here at TCNJ, I've heard a lot of graduation speeches, at least one a year. Being trained as a scientist, my keen observational skills have taught me there are 3 main jobs that a graduation speaker or the faculty have to do. The first is to acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments of the graduating class and what that will enable you to do during your lifetime. They're all worth celebrating with your family. This is a major milestone for all of you. A scientist by training, I can't resist doing a back-of-the-envelope calculation. To get to this day, you spent roughly 1,050 hours of study a semester. Not all in organic chemistry. To get to this day, you spent this time, and a few of these hours have been taken by snow days. Now, that's probably been relegated to the status of an endangered species with the advent of Zoom. You've put in a lot of time and a lot of work to get to this point. You and your family have earned every round of applause and every bit of the congratulations received here today. These are incredibly important hours and years. The friends you've made, the classes you've taken, the activities you've been part of, all of these will influence you for your life over the years to come. They won't necessarily determine the course of your life. That's for you to do with the choices you make from here on in. But the time you've spent here, the lessons you've learned, the memories you've made have played a large role in making you who you are today. That in turn influences the decisions you'll make from here on, often in ways you don't consciously notice. What about those decisions and their timing? Using myself as an example, I changed careers 8 times before getting here to TCNJ at the ripe young age of 53. Some have said that I'm a malcontent. I vividly recall the discussion I had with my wife when I was contemplating making the change from a pharmaceutical research and development director to a professor of chemistry. It really helps to have a supporting spouse. Her words to me were something along the line of, well, if you want to make a change, you'd better go for it now. You're not getting any younger. The take-home message here is that TCNJ has provided you with the tools to move on professionally, be it in the fields of education, government service, postgraduate studies, or medical school, just to name a few. Just don't plan on settling where you start your professional journey. Expect to undergo change to get where you wish to go and to achieve what you wish to achieve. As I said, this graduation marks an important milestone for all of you. Your life will be very different from now on. I'm sure nobody's told you that yet. And it's entirely appropriate to celebrate your achievement to date. The second job of a graduation speaker is to offer some advice to the graduating class. In addition to the little bit of advice I just gave you, my advice is this. As you go through life, use your training to approach everyday issues using your education as a scientist. I don't mean that you necessarily have to be a professional scientist or a major in that field. While this is a good thing to do, it's not the essential part of science. Science is not about facts that you learn in school. It's a habit of mind. It's a way to think, an approach to dealing with the problems of the world, as this pandemic has aptly demonstrated. The most important thing in science isn't an organism you studied in biology, or a Claisen condensation reaction you studied in organic chemistry, or a formula from a physics or a math class. The most important thing in science is the moment when somebody looks at a global problem and says, I wonder why that happened. Science isn't a body of facts. It's a process for figuring out how the world works. You see something interesting, come up with an idea of why that might happen, and test to see if the idea is right. You repeat this process until you figure out why things happen the way they do, and then you use that knowledge to explain new things or to do things you couldn't do before. When I ask you to think like a scientist, what I'm saying is use that process, which is something anybody can do. You don't need to be good at math. You don't need to be good at physics. You don't need to be good at chemistry. You just need to observe the world around you and ask questions. Always question and look for answers. So, think like a scientist. By choosing the major you have in a STEM area, knowingly or unknowingly, you have chosen the task of being an emissary for science at large and the scientific method. Pay attention to the world around you, even the little details. Ask questions of yourself and of other people, and look for real answers. Don't accept, well, that's just the way things are. Push a little bit. Find the real reasons for why things are the way they are. The outcomes are real and tangible. Just look at the speed with which a coronavirus vaccine was made and distributed. And when you find those answers, use them to make a world a better place. When you see something that doesn't seem to work as well as it should, find out why and what you can do to improve it. When you see something in the world that seems unfair or unjust, don't just shrug and accept it. Look for answers and work to make it better. The third and most important job of a graduation speaker is to know when to stop. So thank you again for inviting me to speak on behalf of the faculty today. Congratulations to all the members of the class of 2021, and may you find success regardless of your future endeavors. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of the senior class, Kenu Obevery.
Distinguished faculty, administrators, family, and class of 2021, welcome. The day has come where our class has proven that obstacles are not barriers, that aspiring, determined, and resilient individuals can earn their degree in the midst of such unprecedented times. And while I can stand before you today describing these adverse times, you already know it. You've lived it. You've felt it. I'd much rather celebrate you, the students who have conquered it. Every single graduate before me today embodies their own profound purpose, and bestowed upon you is the responsibility to determine what that purpose is. What I see before me today are not just a group of graduates. I see stories. Gratifying stories that are composed of the unique journey you took to be sitting in these seats today. And while I cannot consolidate all of your stories and share them in my address, I can share with you my own. I transferred to TCNJ fall of 2019 after earning my associate's degree in biology. The one phrase I would use to describe myself at the time was blindly ambitious. When I arrived on campus, I auditioned for every performing arts program, interviewed for every leadership position I was interested in. You name it, I was rejected by it. Discouragement began to settle in, and it was like a heaviness that I could not ignore, but only mask with the tenacious drive to be something. I ran for my first student government election as a senator for this amazing school of science and finally won. And it was in that moment I realized I can be whoever I wanted to be at TCNJ and set a goal to become senior class president. In my first semester at TCNJ, I faced tremendous challenges that at first hindered my success. As spring 2020 approached, I was met with two options. Option number one was to quit, was to believe that my struggles deemed me incapable. Option number two was to be vulnerable, be fearless, be certain that my current struggles were not indicative of my future reality. I became proud of my failures because I am far from defined by them, nor am I limited in my ability to defy them. Remember this small phrase, failure fortifies. So I persevered with very little chances of graduating with this class, let alone leading it, allowing the minute beacon of hope that I felt supersede the doubt that I felt. And now I stand before you today as a testament to what believing in yourself can truly do. When you leave here today, you will be met with various paths to take. I urge you to embark on the path that leads to your version of success, which may be uncomfortable. Embrace the discomfort. When you envision your future and what you want to be successful in, don't think of it as if, but rather when. Be fascinated that in life you are going to be presented with ample opportunities to make anything you want out of your future. And now, as you navigate your own lives in such uncertain, unprecedented, unpredictable times, I invite you to dream. Dream about where you intend to be in the future, and from this moment going forward, be relentless in the pursuit of that goal. You never know where dreaming can take you. Although commencement may seem like the end of an era for you, commencement is not the end, yet only the beginning. Go out there and create a legacy that you will be proud of. Congratulations, class of 2021. We did it. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the senior class treasurer, Anudeep Devi, and vice president of public relations, Jill Nejia.
President Foster, will you please join us at the lectern? TCNJ has given us so much during our time here. The lessons we have learned and the skills we have gained will serve us well as we continue our academic pursuits, begin our professional careers, or embark on any of the journeys life may have in store for us. On behalf of the class of 2021, I am proud to announce that as a symbol of our lasting impact on the College of New Jersey, we have raised the funds to gift a swinging bench to be located on Quimby's Prairie. A plaque with the mantra, "What is your legacy?" will be installed to encourage future classes of students to consider their impact and how they will give back to our alma mater. Thank you to all members of the class of 2021 for making this contribution possible.
Thank you, Anu, and thank you, Jill. Thank you to all of the class of 2021 for a beautiful and generous gift. Thank you. It's also a functional gift. I know that many current students and future generations of students will use a swinging bench, and I love the fact that it is part of what's your legacy, and it's a tangible reminder of our mutual affection for the college. Thank you so much.
Peter Simons, President of the Alumni Association, will you please join us at the lectern? On behalf of the class of 2021, we happily present our class flag to the Alumni Association. This flag, which we received at convocation just 4 years ago, is not only representative of our first moment together as a class, but is a symbol of the growth, both personally and academically, that we have made since. Our experiences throughout these last 4 years at the college have prepared us for this day, and this flag now represents the incredible legacy that we leave behind. With this banner, the class of 2021 will remain united in spirit and gather in reunion under its proud heading for years to come.
Thank you, Anudeep and Jill. On behalf of the Alumni Association and the 90,000 alumni I represent, I want to congratulate the class of 2021 and officially welcome all of you to membership in the College of New Jersey Alumni Association. Throughout your careers, you will encounter fellow alumni everywhere you turn. In fact, there are many among us today. If you are an alum of Trenton State Teachers College, Trenton State College, or the College of New Jersey, would you please stand if able or wave your hands to receive our recognition? Welcome back to campus. We are thrilled to have you join in today's celebration. As you move forward, work hard to be active members of the alumni community, and do not forget to support your alma mater in any way you can. Our alma mater only strengthens by the continued engagement of our alumni community. Congratulations again to all of you, and I look forward to hearing about all of your future successes. Until then, we'll hold this class banner and look forward to future reunions when you can gather underneath it once again. Thank you very much.
At this time, I am pleased to introduce a special presentation for the School of Sciences 2021 graduating class. The music for this presentation is The Road Home by Stephen Paulus, sung by the TCNJ Chorale, accompanied by the TCNJ Wind Ensemble, and featuring soloist Casey Ackerman, class of 2021. In a moment, we will confer degrees, after which graduates will hear their name called and walk across the stage. Many are wearing cords or stoles, as your dean said, to signal academic, leadership, or organizational honors or affiliation. Listed in the program are the names of graduates earning Latin honors, that is, academic distinction marked by overall GPAs of 3.6 or higher on a 4.0 scale. We reserve this particular distinction for public recognition within the commencement ceremony. Will all the graduates who have earned an overall GPA of 3.6 or higher please rise if you are able or wave your hands. Please join me in applauding these graduates. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to ask Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Jeffrey Osborne, and Dean Amanda Norvell to come forward to present the candidates for degrees.
Thank you, President Foster. The conferral of your degree marks the culmination of your hard work and academic persistence. The movement of the undergraduate candidates' tassels from the right to the left is a symbolic gesture of the conferral of your degree. Dean Norvell will now present the undergraduate candidates. And then on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the President will officially confer your degrees.
Thank you, Provost Osborne. Will the faculty from the School of Science please rise to join me in celebrating our graduates? Will the candidates from the School of Science for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees please stand if you are able? Provost Osborne and President Foster, the candidates from the School of Science whose names appear on the printed program and who have successfully met the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees are hereby certified by the faculty for the receipt of their degrees.
This is it. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the College of New Jersey, and in recognition of your attainments in completing the requirements, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. You may move your tassels from the right to the left as a symbol of your accomplishment. Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated.
Before we begin the graduate roll call, I have the following instructions for our graduates. You will follow your field marshal to the stage when instructed. When you hear your name called, please walk across the stage and pick up your diploma cover from the center table. The photographer will take your photo at the designated spot at the end of the ramp, and we then ask that you return to your seat. Dr. Donald Hirsch, Professor of Chemistry, will serve as our name reader.
Kenu Maranatha Obevery. Anudeep Devi. Nicholas Andrew Stoltzfus. Shamala Subramanian. Alexandra M. Yutzis. Sunika Kohli Gohill. Bartholomew Olsheva. Ryan Maureen Mendel. Tate Olivia Elger. Rathika Balaji Prasad. Nicholas Daniel Zelt. Arvinjan M. Kalpatura. Sally Rowe. Delia Zumpano. Joseph A. Tandarella. Shannon G. Brunner. Damian F. Anglin. Ignatius Colin Hazelwood. Sharwani Kota. Priya Vaidehi Srivastava. Nitri A. Panja. Ruha Reddy. Apti Patel. Natasha A. Chaudhary. Aaron Park. Usha Modukuru. Shreya Varadachari. Dongsheng Young. Jonathan M. Piscatelli. Patricia K. Zabura. J. Y. Lim. Jason D. Howe. Ryan A. Salerno. James A. Keene. Sydney M. Santiago. Evan Matthew Snyder. Emma M. Webb. Tegan M. Hare. Isabel E. Kuna. Alexandra Weaver. Juliana M. Bertolino. Chloe Elise Bethea Jones. Boris Byron Salazar. Faith I. Alban. Na Kali Ajabang Ankra. Catherine M. Hobbs. Autumn Jingting Vossler. Suada Demirovich. Margaret Christine Verelman. Ashley M. Roy. Alexandra Zuleika Hauriji. Yogesh Rakolia. Prem A. Vyas. Akash Rajnikant Patel. Patricia Hong Nguyen. Shreya Qasim. Catherine E. Shariti. Dorian Nicholas Klodnicki. Darcy Ray McLaughlin. Arshia Arasappan. Alyssa Ann DeSantis. Christopher William West. Manoj J. Abraham. Miguel P. Ramirez. Mohammed A. Siddiqui. Emily T. Forrester. Grace Lynn Kokenauer. Maxwell J. Sarah. Elena Natus. Katie Lynn Ramdiel. Cole J. Santucci. Charlie S. Drylow. Brian Himpley Alvarado. Rachana Chilakapati. Tafina Benhamu. Walid Elukeri. Daniela Marie Guardashona. Swara Patel. Shivam Patel. Apurva Ramanujam. Isabella R. Kowalski. Vanthana Venkat. Saumya R. Manimala. Neha Shankar. Sarah C. Khan. Joshua Payapilli. Grace M. Pastiglione. Victoria L. Maslov. Allison L. Vasilati. Zachary Bishop. Nathaniel John Burns. Robert Joshua Kahn. Chloe Stephanie Bogan. Kira Sinead Murphy. Harvey Ken Porzuelo. Ryan Y. Jin. J-Lance Dayanghirang Guevara. Akbar Abbas. Sammy K. Sheikh. Chloe A. Wallerson. Kaylee Rochelle Doherty. Fiza Ehsan. Karina Patel. Hira Amjad Chaudhry. Amin Wasim. Arya Alokananda Sen. Omid T. Raheen. Maryam Mahmood Bhatti. Mina Imbasat Hassan Rizvi. Avi D. Shah. David K. Dubidge. Eva Shana Yarsky. Sridhar Parthasarathi. Abhijith Bataru. Rohan P. Singh. Shrey B. Shah. Afash Halim. Raj M. Bhatt. Asher J. Siegel. Oluwafemi O. Adebayi. Justin D. Bay. Perinika Awasarmal.
Please join me in another round of applause for all of our graduates. Before we conclude our commencement exercises for the class of 2021, there is one last thanks to give. Graduates, would you please rise if able? Graduates, this is your achievement, but it very likely came with abundant support and encouragement. Could you please turn? Will all the family members, friends, and loved ones who have come today to celebrate with a graduate please stand if you are able? Graduates, give those standing here and watching online a much-deserved round of thanks and appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, you may face forward. Would you please remain standing for the singing of the Alma Mater, led by Casey Ackerman, Joseph Rippert, Matthew Schloman, and Elena Stampy, all members of the class of 2021, and accompanied by the TCNJ Wind Ensemble. The words to the Alma Mater appear on the inside back cover of your program.
Alma Mater, blue and gold,
famous as in days of old.
hearts we pledge that thou shalt be,
Shining through eternity,
brighter as the years unfold. Alma Mater, blue and gold. TCNJ, blue and gold. Thy brave spirit never grows old. And though far our steps may lead, thou wilt guide our thoughts and deed unto heights as yet untold. Alma Mater, blue and gold.
You may be seated. Before we begin our recessional, I ask all graduates and guests to please help us prepare for our next ceremony by not leaving programs or water bottles at your seat. Graduates, please follow the instructions of our field marshals to recess from the stadium. Guests, please follow the instructions of our staff volunteers to exit the stadium as swiftly as possible using the gates to your right. I now close the 2021 commencement ceremony of the College of New Jersey by setting something up. Now, graduates, I know some of you have pinned those caps in, and others of you have decorated them, but this would be the moment to toss them if you're ready. So, I'm going to ask for one last rousing round of applause for our graduates as they toss their caps if they choose.